What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Element TD2. We are here with another achievement, full support, clear mission 27 on normal, using only buffs, slow and damage amp towers. This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. So this is the amount of points that you have when you reach that stage of the game. We are using Root, Corrosion, Windstorm and Jinx. Sometimes Well and Blacksmith. We could use Trickery as well. Well and Muck here. Again, we could use Trickery and Nova. But we don't have points and I don't see the light towers as very strong, to be honest. I just don't. So that's the ones I'm going to use, and yeah, that's it. Essence is pointless. AoE is somewhat pointless. Range is not entirely pointless, but sort of. Let's jump right in. You saw the tree, obviously. Winter is here. There are no adaptive creeps ahead. It's just a really big map. Now, no adaptive creeps is good. The really big map is problematic. What we want to do is place towers in positions where they can hit multiple lanes. Alright, so not only this lane, but multiple lanes. And we want to place via this overview of the tower table. We're going to use Root. We're going to use Muck. We're going to use Corrosion. We're going to use a Well and a Blacksmith. And we're going to start the game. We will hit right at the start there, but not in an amount which helps as much as I would like. We're going to bleed a lot of lives in this, and this is really about beating it in the long run. That is what it is about, and that is what we are going to do. I do want a Windstorm and a Jinx tower. The Jinx, very important. Deals a ton of damage, hopefully. We can get to a point where it does that. The Muck right now doing a very good job. Root as well. So this block of towers is very effective, because it also gets a lot of kills right here already, and because it can hit multiple lanes. It will become more important to focus on multiple lanes the further down the line we are going. And it is very important right now to focus on the fact that, well, this guy is actually getting through. This is problematic. I'm actually going to allow him to go through, because we can stomach the lives lost. We're banking up interest right now. Putting a Corrosion tower here, as well as a Muck tower. Pulling 2 upgrades here on our support towers, because they make the other towers stronger, which is going to be important, because upgrading these costs a ton, and upgrading the buff towers Well, that is not inexpensive, it doesn't cost as much. We are closing in on a very annoying phase. And there's a good chance that we are bleeding some more lives here, but I think we should get rid of him. But not of him. That's not going to happen. So there's one getting through. Which is annoying, but down to 231 already. There's actually a lot of lives bled there for not much gain, but we are playing it very conservatively to save bleeding lives later on, and you will understand what I mean in a moment. I'm now putting this here, as well as another Jinx tower and another upgraded well. Because we need to get rid of everything here as soon as it comes out. Because we have very little capacity here. Now this will also be able to hit several paths at once, so this is also a very important tower to place. This one is actually getting through, but it shouldn't get very far. Pull a route here. Sell it again. Because that was exactly not what I wanted. Obviously want a muck tower right there as well. So we cover a lot of range now, but we also have to pay attention. And we don't overstretch ourselves. This corrosion tower will go to level 2 once the wave is finished. We're in wave 9, so we have another wave to save up, and we will wait the interest cycle and now upgrade it. A corrosion 2 tower, obviously, 1 does a lot of damage, 2 has a very good bonus multiplier or damage multiplier. That is very good. So good. Now we have this path coming down here. We can barely reach that, and we can reach a little bit of it here, but it's going to be important that for a moment we have towers that can reach multiple lanes. Put a windstorm here as well. We put a blacksmith, a well, and we actually don't have the resources for more than that. Get a blacksmith too. We're still on 231 lives, and we are 11 waves in. Which is at least somewhere along the lines of where I want to be. We will bleed some lives here, and that does hurt. There's no point in denying that. We certainly need to build up in several positions here. Now I too wish we could go for a variety of different towers here. Much different than what we have, but unfortunately we can't. So this is what we have to live with. Mark tower here would be appreciated, or on this side actually. Actually right here would be much appreciated. And some tower upgrades would obviously be appreciated. We're all coming in rather injured here. Several going to get through again. Like I said, we are going to bleed a ton of lives because we don't have much that deals damage. And also because we don't really have full setups here. Or the time to even get full setups. This is a fairly full one, but we still lack a lot of things, and we especially lack a lot of upgrades. Let another life, but that's not too bad. It's wave 15 and I'd be very glad if we had the option to build more, but we don't, so we don't. Jinx Tower dealing pretty good damage here. With a corrosion with the upgrade, also very high on the list. As you can see, we're still getting through even towards the end of this wave cycle. So this path is just not very well fortified. It will get better once we create things that hit this path and other paths. So far we are not bleeding an amount that concerns me. Now this one goes through here and up there. So now we are looking at things that cover multiple lanes. And that should also strengthen this one. All sorts of lanes now being involved there. It's highly problematic that we lack several upgrades still. And that we have very little up here. Really shouldn't neglect. Very little defense up there. And we obviously have nothing that we can build that just deals insane amounts of damage. Like, we shouldn't fool ourselves here. We have support towers. They deal very low amounts of damage. Upgraded well towers deal more damage. So we shouldn't be just so delusional to think that we have anything that deals tremendous amounts of damage, because we don't. And thinking that we do isn't gonna change that. Some more different towers down here, but upgrading some windstone towers would be sweet, but right now we are mostly doing things by getting more towers instead of making them better. But soon that strategy will change. And it has to change if we want to beat this. Because while we keep the lives lost at a manageable amount so far. That can change very quickly. And we're upgrading the windstorm and the well. And a big reason for that is that makes this one better, right? Well tower upgrading it. And the well tower also upgrades everything else here. Or makes it better, more effective. The Jinx is already on level 2, so this is a very strong block here in the middle that reaches most of the lanes. And that deals tremendous amounts of damage. The corrosion here also gets upgraded. And I would love to upgrade the root tower, but it's not the time for that right now. Can I build a blacksmith here? An upgraded one. Because that also upgrades the towers here. So that windstorm really buffed. The corrosion here getting buffed, the Jinx tower getting buffed. It's a very deadly combo. You can see here the root tower does such pathetic damage that the golems really don't care. You have a slowdown effect, so that's good about the root, but the damage output is just really pathetic. Which we really need other towers for. Which we unfortunately have, but it's really a danger. It's partly these towers. These towers will really do damage here. So they spawn here, they go this way, they go up here, over here, and to there, and we have basically nothing on their path except the spawn here, which is problematic, but we have 8,000 points saved up for exactly that reason. And where are we going to spend the points? Right here. We're going to place some of them. I would love to upgrade the windstorm tower, but we're not really in a position for that. Going to increase the upgrades up here as well. So I take a tremendous amount of damage right off the bat because this is within range of a spawn and this is within range of a spawn, so that is really a saving grace, so to speak. And despite very few muck towers, light doesn't have much of a chance so far. But we are far from an enviable position yet, so we certainly need to keep investing into several of these paths, actually, because we're not all safe. And the map will keep expanding, which is going to be problematic, but that also means we already have to think about what we do beyond the areas that we defend right now. So that means we can't spend too much on the existing areas, because whenever the map expands we need to be able to adapt to that. This middle construction here is very, very helpful. And we have enough to also place a well here. Wait, we have one already. Sorry, my bad. And let's place a muck. Upgrade that. So this in the middle here is responsible for a lot of our damage that we are able to deal. Let's be honest about that. Has the responsibility for a lot of that. And this obviously also a bulk of damage that is done here. Can I get through? They might. Oh, they come into range here shortly. But I don't think it's going to be enough to do 35,000 damage. Although corrosion is within range. It's not quite enough. Which means he will get through. I really don't want to spend too many points on the defense of this. Although it might become necessary. Let's use well 3 here. Whoops. And upgrade with Windstorm. It might be necessary, and we probably should have done it before last wave. I'm really considering upgrading the Muck. That at least deals a lot of damage. So it's always appreciated. So now we have this going down here. So it also goes past here, which is good. Goes past here once. It only goes past here once, right? Yeah, when it goes below this. And then it goes somewhat past here, but not a whole lot. And then it goes once more past us. Now that's not a whole lot. No, I would say... Grade this one. Let's do this. This is going to be a block of damage, which will eventually also reach the lanes here when we expand the building over there, which we obviously will. That was a pretty quick clear. Could barely gather my words for that. Do we have corrosion over here? No, we don't. Kinda want that though. Is this one upgraded? Yes it is, that one is, and that one is, so that's good. How annoying the ones up here aren't, but sometimes you have to live with these things. Let's upgrade this one. I want a bigger slow and a bigger damage increase, so that's why I upgrade these. And really shouldn't neglect your defense on the left side of the map, just because the map expands. Defending that side is still important. Yeah, it's Windstorm and Corrosion, which does brunt of the damage. It's not surprising. Knock towers are pretty good as well, though. And well, Route 2 has a pretty good fire speed and also not as pathetic of a damage as Route 1 has. We're not great, but we're also not completely pathetic, so... Windstorm always very important to what we are doing here. So it gets another upgrade. We are saving a ton of resources, which nets us a lot of interest. But this guy will probably get through. Let's see how we can stop that. Actually slow down a ton and him as well. So the slowdown really... Well, one guy got through apparently. I didn't watch that. Probably need to invest a bit in the defense here, because that path is pretty undefended. Did I just invest a ton here and leave this path entirely alone? Well, that was a blunder. Can anything even reach it? Well, barely. That was a big blunder. That was a big blunder. Actually gonna sell these because we have to. Oh, they're traveling up there, so they actually do go past that, but not in a very big circle here, so we barely would have touched them. I don't think that would have been enough. We can replace that up here. That's not a big problem. Here maybe would be a pretty good spot, I think. So it's not too big of a problem, but so we'll get through. These couple get through, which is annoying, but I can probably live with it. Let's put a windstorm up here that covers everything. Let's upgrade it. These paths down there are somewhat problematic. We didn't really consider that. Or I didn't. It's not like it's your fault. A route upgraded would be sweet. Corrosion as well. So this is pretty much a death zone here, but it's very small. So it's not unlikely something gets through. We're still on 178 lives though, so despite these issues, we aren't in a terrible position. Let's not forget that. Might not be doing everything perfectly, but... Oh, this is bad because it's mostly focusing on windstorm towers. So this is indeed somewhat bad. Well, it worked, so... It's really the darkness wave that got us there. We're in wave 35, so I'm actually not going to spend anything this wave. Maybe reach anything there? No. But this will be a path, right? Very much assume. So that helps once that path unlocks next wave. Still on 178 lives, which is good. And a blacksmith. And a muck. And this should deal a decent amount of damage here. Now it's obviously annoying that we're cursed. The entire map seems to be cursed, so with these blocks of damage, cursed enemies are absolutely awful to fight. But we're gonna do what we have to do. And luckily they go through the death zone here, so at least shortly. And we obviously have to go through here again while we recover a bit from the curse. And they go through the death zone as well. Still 178 lives, so things are looking alright. Look at all the stacks they are amassing here. It's ridiculous. This one is upgraded, this one is upgraded, that's good. Upgrading the buff towers is one of the main tasks here. Let's get these two upgraded. And you pretty much just want to upgrade everything that you build there, so. But you deal damage very efficiently, because obviously you also have very limited building space here, so. Upgrading stuff helps in a lot of ways also to not have to build in such big areas. Especially when you build packs like this. It certainly helps. Jinx is upgraded, that's good. These are upgraded. That Jinx isn't. Oddly enough. That Muck isn't. The rest here is. So upgrading some of the towers that we have, I don't intend to build new ones. At least not right now. Let's build one here. Just for the sake of it. With a bit of a damage increase. This one actually reaches here as well, so that's really a death zone around here. We're killing very efficiently here, so that's pretty good. Should we place more Jinx towers? Probably not. Well, we can use one here. It's a death zone anyway, so. I mean, we have one here already, but. The more the better. They get through. Probably both of them. Nope, one of them. It's okay though. Don't mind it too much. Corrosion doesn't really help against that. Oh, we're losing a ton up here. Actually getting through the middle. But we're on the last wave and we have a ton of lives remaining, so it's not that bad. Yep, there we go. That gets us the achievement. Which is exactly what we wanted to do. We still have 152 lives remaining, so it wasn't so bad. So yeah, I hope you can do this as well. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, farewell.